Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for coming in. I look for this little pop up every time I go live to make sure that I really am live, but it says I am. So, anyway, hi, welcome in. For those who I maybe have not met yet or their first time visiting the channel, my name is Elisa, and my channel is Elisa's Adventures in Cruising. And it's kind of been a wild 24 hours for me. Exciting 24 hours, I'd say, in that my channel has just been officially monetized. And I'm super, super excited about that. And what I think put me over the edge on my watch hours and my subscribers was my cruise to Alaska, which I took in June. And I have been posting lots of vlogs and lots of shorts and talking about it on my live streams. And I thought, you know what? The last time I did the live team collaboration was actually when I was on my way to that cruise. I thought I'd give a little update on how it went, what I learned on that cruise. And I see lots of people coming in and saying, hi, hi, hi. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Controversial Cruising, the first in the house. Hey, Scott. Hey, Sheena. How are you? I've seen you so much today. Yay. Warmstrong is here. Hey, Bill. Thanks for coming in. Sheena's here on another channel, Carnivore Diamond. I got to get used to that name, Sheena, but thanks so much for coming. And I see Miss is here. Thank you for the super chat, Controversial Cruising. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for the congratulations. I see Miss Geo is here, the woman with the plan, the mastermind of this whole time live collaboration team. And thank you very much, Gio, for letting me participate in it again and for helping me on this journey getting to my 1K and my 4,000 watch hours. I really, really appreciate all the help, all the support. I'm going to try and stay on track. These people are still coming in. Oh, that's so great. Hey, Etta, how are you doing? Thanks for coming in. Hi, Life with Marlene. How are you? How are you? Hope I didn't miss anybody. World Destination Travels. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. Yeah, on my Jen Cohen is here. Thanks, Jen. Thanks for coming in. I did the last collaboration in June. Like I said, I was actually traveling I live in Florida, from Florida to Seattle, Washington to board the Carnival Spirit for a 7-night cruise out of Seattle up through the Inside Passage of Alaska. And I don't know about you guys, if maybe you've been to Alaska. I had never gone before. I was excited to go, was nervous to go. Oh, thank you, Bill. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. I was excited to go, but I wasn't entirely sure. I thought I've lost my cold weather chops. Thank you, Jen Cohen. I appreciate you guys so much. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. You guys are making me lose my train of thought in the best possible way. But I was worried about the weather, and I thought, well, can I really do this? Will I really enjoy it? I don't have cold weather clothes like I used to when I lived up north. Is it going to be too cold? Is it going to be unbearable? And I'm happy to say, because I'm sitting here today, that I survived the experience just fine. And I just want to show you a little bit. Hang on. This has been the coldest spot we've been so far. Not sure what the temperature is, but definitely need the jacket. I had the hood on a couple seconds ago, so it is cold. Definitely take that advice to heart about dressing in layers and bringing your stuff. It makes a difference, of course, that we are right here in front of the giant ice field, so I guess it would be cold. But anyway, this is what it looks like at Mendenhall Glacier. That was me at the Mendenhall Glacier in Juneau, Alaska, and yeah, it was cold. But like I said, I guess it makes sense that it was cold considering I was standing in front of a glacier. Overall, I think the temperature while I was in Alaska was between 60 and 40 or 40 to 60. Hey, Pandy, thanks for coming in. Hey, Dre, Sylvia, thank you guys so much. It was between 40 and 60 degrees, depending on where you were. It could be breezy, it could be windy, it could be rainy. So that affected how cold it actually felt. But was it bearable? Yes. All the advice that I had been given ahead of time about dressing in layers really paid off. I definitely think that I was prepared. I guess I was being cute. I didn't follow my own advice, Scott, in that moment and had my hat on, but I definitely had it with me. And I packed some hot hands. I had some, I had tights, I had thermals, I had all that stuff because I was going to be prepared. Sylvia saying, I'm not a cold person, y'all can have Alaska. Sylvia, it was amazing. It really was a great, great trip. I know we're used to cruising to the Caribbean. And of course, when we think cruise, we think, fun in the sun. But I'm going to tell you, I had a great time in Alaska, and I didn't let the cold shut me down. I think you would be the same way. Pack your hat, pack your gloves, pack your hot hands, and go for it. And go for it. I want to visit there too. Yes, Gio, go for it. If it's on your list. Again, I know I live in Florida, so I was extra concerned about the cold, but for everybody else who experiences more of the season, all 4 seasons throughout the year, you're probably better prepared for the cold weather than I was. I say in Florida, we only have 2 seasons, hot and hotter. The cold is not really a thing here. Hey, Lucy, thanks so much for coming in. How are you? Dre, I hope I said hi to you too. So it was bearable. Now, when I went, it was late June, and like I said, it was the temps were between like a high of 60, low of 40. Dre of Dre TV, I see in the chat, went with the group later in the summer, and I think it was actually warmer for them. So varying degrees of temperatures when you go over the summer in Alaska, but I know they had a good time too. So don't let the idea of the cold stop you. It was very, very good cruise. And then what I was starting to say is Alaska is just beautiful. I don't consider myself a outdoors kind of girl at all. But I was definitely captivated by the views. I felt like everywhere I turned, there was a beautiful view. There was a beautiful view. There was a beautiful view. I kept saying it was like being in a Hallmark movie. It felt like I was in a Christmas movie all the time because the views were so great. Hi, John, I see you coming in. Thank you so much. And Ranger, thank you guys for coming in. So just to give you another glimpse of how beautiful it is in Alaska, that first clip was from Juneau at the Mendenhall Glacier. And this next clip is from Skagway. If you heard anybody talking about visiting Skagway on a cruise, it's definitely one of those ports where everybody knows about a certain excursion, and this one happens to be the White Pass train. It was an adventure, but I enjoyed it, so I hope you guys like this clip too. Isn't that so pretty? We kept saying we wanted to, like, take one of those trees home. It's there are perfect Christmas trees everywhere. So the second thing I would say that I learned from this cruise is that I really, really have a new appreciation for the great outdoors. I'm wearing my Alaska The Last Frontier t-shirt, and it definitely felt like I was visiting something rare and something really special. I've never seen mountains like that before. Definitely haven't seen snow-capped mountains like that. And the trees were just gorgeous. So if you have a chance to go, if you have a chance to visit Skagway, I highly, highly suggest that you do that White Pass train and catch those views. Yes, I was standing out on the there's like a platform in between the cars, and everybody's out there taking pictures. I can't nap because I want to see. Thanks, Sheena. Beautiful. Yes, the scenes were just so pretty. So yeah, you might find out you are an outdoors person after all. Look at that. From the comfort of a train, though. Didn't want to stop and run into bears. But anyway, that's a whole other story. That's a whole other story. Excuse me. If you guys could see in that clip how the trees are just, all the way up the mountains. If you've heard about the landslides that happened in Ketchikan, I believe that was just last week. That Ketchikan is not as remote as that, but when those trees come, if the trees come down in a landslide, it's really going to come all the way down and leave really like just a giant patch of dirt. So any houses, any vehicles, anything that's in its path, it's gonna just get wiped out. So when I heard that on the news about the landslides in Ketchikan, I was really like, oh my gosh, that it felt like too close. Not that I was in any harm's way, and I feel terrible for anybody who was affected by that, but it was one of those, if you hadn't been there to see how the houses and buildings are among the mountains or along the mountains there, you might not understand how that could happen. But anyway, so that was in Skagway, the train ride. Highly recommend. The third thing I learned on my cruise to Alaska is that you might come home with a newfound hobby or appreciation for a hobby. So one of the things that I kept seeing in all of the gift shops that I stopped in, because, you got to stop in the gift shops. You got to bring something home. I got the t-shirt, but got to bring something home, was this Alaska sourdough starter. Now, I like to bake cookies. I like to bake things down the holidays. Thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate that. Welcome in. I bake at the holiday time, but I resisted getting myself a bread maker for years and years because I thought that could be dangerous. So I've never really made bread, let alone sourdough. But Alaska apparently is famous for sourdough, among other things. And I thought, well, you know what? That's going to be a great souvenir. If you guys are bakers and you know anything about sourdough, apparently people really treasure their sourdough starters. And there were lots of stories about miners in the gold mines, how they basically had these sourdough starters and they treasured them. They carried them with them, kept them warm so that they would be able to make bread. So I thought, well, I don't have to go through all that, but let me give it a whirl. So I brought home the sourdough starter. I even did a live where I made it because I was super excited. It's like, this is going to be amazing. I'm going to make bread from this. And Yeah, I had a lot of fun making it. And I even made what I thought were the sourdough dinner rolls from the recipe that was provided in the in this little pack. But my daughter, who is much more of a baker than I am, came in and was like, "That starter don't look right, Mom." And she was right. That starter definitely did not start. So I'm gonna blame myself. I think a lot of things could have gone wrong with my preparations, and I'm gonna try again. And maybe I will be able to say, I'm a sourdough I'm a sourdough bread maker now, y'all. But anyway, there was so much to see, and so many interesting things that people do in Alaska. I wish I had got a chance to do one of the dog sled well, Baker, one of the dog sled musher camps, or one of those type of excursions, to just see some more people go, obviously to ski, obviously to fish. I was not there during the salmon run. I'd love to see that, but I thought that was a nice little bring home kind of souvenir. So anyway, I tried that. Hey, Trish the Natural. Oh, no worries. Just finished up from work. No problem. Thanks so much for coming in. So maybe I'll get the hang of that sourdough starter. I might have to order it from Amazon, which I know I could have done before I went all the way to Alaska, but now I know. What else did I learn from Alaska? I learned about my cruise to Alaska. I learned that cruise is for everyone. And I mean everyone. I mean all ages, all demographics, everybody from everywhere can go and enjoy themselves on an Alaskan cruise. Before I went, I thought that it was just, sort of for retired folks, people who just wanted to take it easy. And don't get me wrong, it's a slower pace than I'd say the Caribbean. It wasn't the full party that you sometimes get on the Caribbean cruises. But did it have everything else that a normal cruise has, or a cruise that we're used to has? Absolutely. Was the food good? Yep. Was the entertainment good? Yep. Was the ship itself beautiful? It was. Was the cruise director fun? He sure was. Were there lots of parties, deck parties, and all of that? Again, yes, yes, yes. And what I loved seeing was that there were lots of families with young children, young couples, older couples, middle-aged couples, everybody, singles. I don't know why I'm only talking about the couples. There was literally everybody on that ship. And I thought that was great. And I thought that if you had been thinking about it, or maybe kind of sort of had it on your bucket list, but don't think that it's for you, consider again. If you want to go and you want to see it, you should go and you should see it. Lots of cruise lines go. Like I said, I happen to go on the Carnival Spirit. If I get the chance to go again, I probably would do a different cruise line. I really like Royal Caribbean, and Celebrity goes as well. I saw a Norwegian ship. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody, but there are lots of cruises heading to Alaska. So there's something for everybody in that respect. And in the cruise line that you take, just go and have a good time. I see more people coming in. I want to make sure I say hi. Hi, Mercy's Empire. Thank you so much. Hey, Team Reach Travels. How are you? Thank you. Hi, Ann. How are you? Thank you guys so much for coming in. I appreciate that. And one thing that I don't know if you guys know about the native people in Alaska. There were this is going to be a clip from when I did visit Ketchikan. I went to a place called the Saxman Native Village, and the people were just amazing. There is so much history and culture there with them. Had a really good time and learned a lot, and they even got me up and dancing, sort of.
The rest of you can still take part by clapping your hands to the beat of the drum. Go.
That was a way longer clip of the whole dance, but I thought I'll save myself a little bit of embarrassment. It was so nice. The tribal house that we were in, they explained everything that happened, or how that building was used, and all about the clan that was their special place too. So I thought that was really, really a neat excursion. Learned a lot, saw a lot, and did not really think about it or understand that native culture. I think when we think more about the cold weather and people, maybe whale hunting or something like that, but I wasn't used to or didn't have any information about a village like that. And I'm so glad that I got to go and experience a little bit of that culture. So very, very happy that I got to do that. So all in all, I was gonna say, if you have been thinking about cruising to somewhere other than the Caribbean, I'm not knocking the Caribbean, I still love it, but consider going to Alaska. It is still home in that it's still the US. So you will be familiar with lots of things. You don't have to exchange your money. That's something my father always is skeptical about. You don't have to exchange your money. The American dollar works in America still. And you can get around pretty easily. The excursions were more expensive than they are in the Caribbean. Excuse me. So I would say if you do go and are trying to decide, should you do excursions, not doing excursions, maybe you really want to spend some time researching the prices of them, because maybe you pick one that sounds really awesome to you and do that, as opposed to trying to do one in every port because of the cost. They can be very pricey. So anyway, that's what I learned on my cruise to Alaska. I see that I had one more clip here, and I think it's just kind of out of order, but I'm going to show it anyway, just in case it's something good that I forgot to tell you guys. Robin and Chet, I did not forget about you guys. I brought you. You're here. You're here. And Ketchikan. Okay, I didn't forget. I meant to not show you guys that. But no, shout out to my good buddies at Sea Lake Journeys. As you can see, they had sent me it was like a coaster. They're like, take us with you to Alaska. And so that's how I could take them with. You want to take everybody with you? That was the best I could do. Their picture was with me in Alaska. So I'm going to go to the chat now in case there were questions. Design with Emma, very expensive. Yeah, probably talking about the excursion, because Emma went cruise to Alaska too, right? Yes, they were expensive. Good evening, everyone. Oh, that's okay, Etta. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate that. I see CME Traveling is here. Thanks so much for coming in, you guys. Have you been to Alaska yet? Have you cruised there? Is it on your bucket list? I didn't really get to see in the chat if folks were saying that they had it on their list or not. I saw a couple people saying that it was a little too cold for them. I hope that if I can survive it, you guys can too. Don't write it off just because of the cold. Trish says, I would like to go on one of the cruises where they have the old school bands and artists performing. Oh yeah. That would be fun. And I have to say that ship, that was the Carnival Spirit. And I think they do this on most Carnival cruises. They it was sort of like a Motown battle. Half the room were the Supremes, the other half were the Temptations, and they played all of these great old songs. It was a lot of fun. You met a lot of people, and you sang a lot of songs and danced a whole lot too. It was a very good time. But yeah, one where there's all bands, as long as you know exactly who's going to be there and when they are going to perform, that would be pretty cool. So I hope you get to do that. Sheena's laughing. Thanks you guys so much for coming in. I see somebody saying hi to the Hajwas. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm sorry I missed you, but I appreciate you so much. You guys, what else do I have coming up? Again, thank you for all of your efforts and helping me to reach my YouTube goals. I have reached the 1,000. I have made my 4,000 watch hours, and it's because all of you have helped me and watched and commented and liked and subscribed, and I'm very appreciative of that. I'm going to do more of a, celebration probably in the next week or two. So if you can come on in for that, that should be a lot of fun. On Mondays at 8:30 a.m., I am one of 3 co-hosts of a podcast called The Conscious Cruiser, along with my friend Scott at Controversial Cruising, who I think is still in the chat, with Chet from Sea Lake Journeys, who I was holding the little card from, and myself. So that drops at 8:30 on Monday mornings. And if you're one who listens to podcasts on Spotify, you can listen to us on Spotify as well. And then my normal on Monday evenings at 7 p.m. is the Monday Mood Check, where I just like to check on my friends and also hear about their cruises. So if that sounds like fun to you guys, please come on in and join the fun. My next cruise that I'm going to be showing the vlogs about was from my trip on Carnival, but the Carnival Firenze out of Long Beach, California. I was a part of the Meet and I group cruise, and that was a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to showing you guys all of that. Thank you so much for for coming in and supporting, for coming in to meet me, and for all of the super chats and well wishes and congratulations on the 1K. I really, really appreciate it. Looks like Gio has dropped the link for Design with Emma, who is next on this collaboration tonight, the live team collaboration. And so if you haven't already, go ahead and make sure you have the link so that you can head on over and continue on with this evening's lineup. Appreciate it so much. Thank you guys again, and I will see you soon. Good night.